Brian was a really sweet boy, even since childhood, almost an artistic genius. So if you met him, he'd be lighthearted and happy and funny and doing crazy stuff. You know, as a kid, he was a lot more reserved, and then as he became older and older, he became, you know, the kid who'd always jump the fence or always take the dare, or whatever challenge there was, he would take it. Brian underwent a lot of teasing growing up. He was sexually assaulted at the school. He had his new car was vandalized with hate written on it. He had notes put on his back at school. A child of a principal said walking through the hallways with Brian was like walking through hell. But Brian was also a very forgiving person. He'd say they just don't know better. But underneath, you know, he felt everything. Brian did not come out until after high school, and I think a lot of that was protective. It was easier for him as he got older. But the struggles never ended. Brian completed suicide on November 1st, 2014. The number one rule of Methodism, the number one rule is do no harm. Brian harmed himself, but I know that was an extension of the harm put on him. But I think about this number one rule for Methodism, do no harm. And our book of discipline tells the LGBTQ community, God loves you, but. That but is, but you're not good enough. I did not attend General Conference, but I was aware of the topic and I was aware of the plans. And I couldn't believe this was my church, and I couldn't believe that I would attend a church that believed that way. My hope for the church is that we can move beyond this as being a huge issue that doesn't need to exist, and that our church would begin to welcome everyone. Because I believe that God sees inside of all of our hearts. And Brian's heart was so kind and so good. You know, he should be the person allowed to witness to others, and his sexual orientation should have nothing to do with that.